they are awake for it. I bought some Wingstop for them, and oh.
This video is sponsored by Hook Theory.
We're gonna watch
key
this.
is this song in Clocks by Coldplay. In my previous video, I said that it was in the key of E flat. That E flat there would sound, and does sound to me, like the tonic chord, the home chord,
Correct,
the
yeah.
chord where there's nowhere else left to go.
That's
You're
what
completely
I
at rest,
paid
which
you
is
for.
effectively what
Like,
defines
is
a
it
key,
not?
right?
Is it
If we're saying a
not?
song's in E flat, we're saying that when we reach the chord and the note of E flat, it is fully resolved
yes,
and at
sir.
rest. It's like
That's
the
what I paid
gravitational
you
center
for.
of that piece of music. But
Actually,
some people said when they were watching my video that Clocks isn't in E flat.
This is like actually super informative for me because I want to be in a band, and
Says it's in F minor, which is the third chord we get in the progression, fourth bar, third chord. They said that that is the tonic chord of Clocks, F minor. Does that sound resolved to you? Does it sound fully at rest? If so, you agree with them. You think that Clocks is in the key of F minor. But if you, like me, think that
sure.
that chord, E flat, is the tonic chord, then you're in my camp. You think that it's in the key of E flat mixolydian to be precise, which is a variation of the E flat major scale. So what I'm ultimately saying is that the key of a piece of music can be subjective.
And I hate that. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. It's not. I don't enjoy that. God damn it. I don't like it. Oh my god, I need to. I didn't order that. Oh my fucking god. I didn't order the. Oh my god, I didn't order that.
E flat. Some people thought it was an F minor. Other people thought it was an A flat, which is yet another key, but as we'll soon learn, not that far away. They're all three of these keys that are being thrown around as suggestions. They all have something in common, which we're going to discuss. But this phenomena of effectively a subjective key, a subjective experience of a piece of music, is not exclusive to Clocks. It's actually quite common in songs that are based on a 4-bar rotating loop. So Clocks, although not throughout its entire duration, is largely based on this loop of chords. So we're never really getting a moment where the whole thing kind of concludes. It's not like we're getting a beginning, middle and end of this chord progression, which was more typical in classical music and music in the first half of the 20th century. In modern pop music, it's quite common just to take a chord loop and kind of rotate round it, and that has the effect of kind of blurring where it begins and ends. So different chords within that cycle can start to sound like the home chord to different listeners. Another common example of this modal ambiguity, as we'll call it, this subjectiveness.
You're just telling me that like music is what people make it, and there's not anything anywhere.
Of key is the song Get Lucky by Daft Punk. This song rotates around the chords E minor 7,
I love
D,
the B minor 7 chord.
F sharp minor 7 and E. Just
if I was at work,
for most of its duration, well, in the case of Get Lucky, actually,
that.
its entire duration,
Oh my God.
that's all we get. The song just keeps rotating around those chords, never coming to a conclusion, just sort of hovering in that space, in that tonality. And just like with Clocks, some people say that, for example, B minor is the key center. Does that sound like it's resolved to you? Other people, though, say that F sharp minor is the key center. So which one is it? Or is it both of them? But these aren't just random keys. So if we look at Clocks, although some people think it's an E flat, Some people think it's in F minor. Some people even think it's in A.
I don't know. They don't know.
Those choices aren't random.
They
They're
don't
connected.
know.
You know, I can't just say, oh, I think Clocks is in the key of D, because it almost categorically isn't. You know, if I play a bit of Clocks and then resolve to a D major chord,
Dude,
I don't think anyone's going to think
We
that that's the tonic chord, right? That's just not how.
love clocks. Everyone loves. Come on. I play whatever I play. Like. We're just not gonna do whatever we're gonna do. Okay, we're gonna watch this. Like, come on, man.
Hello and welcome to GameSack. It's been a while since the last
By the way,
episode, so I figured we could take a look and see what the fan community's been up.
I have so many wings coming to us. I have boneless meal deal, 1 large seasoned fries, yes, large amount of seasoning, and another, like, the cheese fries are for me. I know I'm a fatty, but I have a large kind of thing for me. I have sweet chili glazed. I have honey smoked barbecue for the boneless meal deal, which is $17. And then I have another $7 for me, which is hot honey rub seasoning. Not gonna lie, super dope. They're gonna put that on it, and then I'm going to eat it with cheese on it. So I'm just telling you what I have for us.
Up to. Now, there is a ton of great stuff out there, and I probably can't get to it all. Also, everything in this episode is free. However, you're going to have to source it yourself, and you may also need a legit copy of the game if it needs to be patched. And some are demos that might be for a product that goes on sale later, but the demo is free. Anyway, let's start out with some Batman homebrew. Here's Batman Returns on the Genesis from Tia Gossick, Pyron, Engelbart, and Vector Orbitex. No, this isn't the crappy Batman Returns that Sega of America gave us, but instead it's a port of the beat-em-up that Konami developed for the Super Nintendo. It's actually just a tech demo. Only the first part of the first stage is here, and there's no intention to bring the entire game to the console. But what is here is done extremely well. I'm Batman. You play as Batman, and your goal is to put an end to all crime, but only in your particular city. The only way to end crime is by punching people in the face. A few of the enemy types from the Super Nintendo game didn't get invited to participate on the Genesis. Still, this is a great port, and the Genesis here is going a bit beyond the original on the Super NES in a few ways. For one, it runs in a higher resolution in both dimensions. As a result, it looks a bit skinnier, and it's also full screen top to bottom, whereas the Super NES version is letterbox so that it doesn't run at the speed of molasses. The Genesis also puts a ton more characters on screen at once. So yeah, there's flicker, but I haven't felt any slowdown. You can also play 2 players simultaneous, where you're both Batman. One of you is colored slightly lighter.
Like, what is
the tech demo ends with a sweet digitized image of Batman, which looks amazing on a CRT. Even most of the intro is here. The music is also done well, especially the stage music. And there's lots of extra voices here that weren't in the Super NES game. Everything sounds great. There is some music that was lifted from Dragon's Fury.
No, sir, that's Danny DeVito.
And the boss laugh is lifted from Streets of Rage 2. If anything, I really wish that I could take this demo, travel back in time, and show it to the people of Sega of America and say, see this? This is what you should be making instead of what you are actually making.
come on. This is what's where no. Hold on.
This is Find Luigi on the Super NES from Maxwell Olinda. In this simple game, various faces from the Mario universe bounce around the screen DVD logo screensaver style.
Ooh,
You control the little heart.
I love
Your
it.
goal is to touch the Luigi faces.
I
That's it.
enjoy that
You can
thing.
speed up your movement with the Y
Yes,
button.
sir.
Each Luigi you touch is worth a point. However,
Uh-huh.
if you touch a non-Luigi face, you lose a hit point, and you don't have that many. Up to 36 faces can be bouncing around the screen at once, and it can feel pretty crazy. So far, my record is 18 points in the easy mode. In the hard mode, the faces move even faster. You beat the game if you can get 30 points on easy or 20 points on hard. Despite its extremely simplistic nature, it's actually pretty fun. Not only that, but the music is
Super
great as well.
fun.
Mouse support could make this perfect, but maybe that might also make the game too easy?
It's Luigi time. Wow.
Also on the Super Nintendo is Super Boss Gaiden from Dieter Laser and Chrono Moogle. You play as the boss of Sony. It turns out that the Nintendo PlayStation prototype that Sony was actually working on in real life back in the day has been leaked and emulated. This fills you with pure rage, and now you go around destroying equipment and killing Sony employees. No employee of Sony is safe.
I hate them.
Certainly not Parappa the Rapper. Keep your heart rate up or you die and then get set back really far. But hey, at least there's checkpoints. The controls are pretty tight for the most part, though sometimes it feels like the enemies are impervious to your attacks. Sometimes you get a bunch of that covers up. Let's stick with homebrew for now, because I've got a lot of that. I am loving the arcade conversions that the community is attempting, usually with amazing results. So let's take a look at some of them.
Let's not.
Here's Shinobi on the Genesis from Trifon. Shinobi? This demo attempts to port the original arcade game home to the Genesis.
No, I don't really enjoy that. I have a lot of Wingstop bullshit here, and I think they are going to deliver me some fucking shit. Hold on.
Dear MAGA, did Trump's tantrum in the Oval Office with President Zelensky of Ukraine successfully make you forget that he didn't deliver on the Epstein files, which he claimed he was going to turn over this past week, but instead he gave like 10 MAGA influencers a binder with Epstein's like phone list that was already released back in, let's say about 2021, that also contained Donald Trump's name on it because Trump and Epstein were buddies. Did you forget about that? Or are you moving on to the next distraction? Because we're not forgetting about it. In fact, we put our investigative team at the Midas Touch Network on it. And we learned on Thursday, the Trump administration invited a bunch of MAGA influencers and pro-Trump journalist types to the White House. While they were there, Attorney General Pam Bondi gave them a, quote, phase 1 binder of Epstein documents. Many of the MAGA influencers were seen posing and smiling and some dancing with their Epstein binders, which contain potential evidence against those who sexually abused children for their own pleasure. It should be noted Donald Trump's name was in there, and also these documents had been released in 2021. This was not the, quote, Epstein files that were supposed to be released, which would have included grand jury testimony, witness statements, photographs, videos. That is what they are not releasing and trying to cover up. The optics of what went down at the White House this past week was so bad that even MAGA and pro-Trump accounts were blasting that influencer group and the White House on social media. Charlie Kirk posted, "The Epstein Files Phase 1, it is happening, hey!" I mean, so sickening. One of the personalities invited to the White House and given a binder was someone by the name of Jessica Reed Krause, a pro-Trump individual and self-described independent journalist who has been granted access into Mar-a-Lago Trump campaign events and even into intimate Trump family gatherings. Krause on Instagram stated that he had earned the Epstein binder, which drew further criticism. pro-Trump journalist Jessica Reed Krause with her copy of the Epstein files released by the White House. You can see it right there. Krause, who has a large following on Instagram and Substack, covered the trial of Ghislaine Maxwell, a partner of Jeffrey Epstein who helped groom his child victims. That is Ghislaine, who helped groom the child victims. As the criticism over the binder continued, screenshots of Krause wearing a Free Ghislaine shirt began appearing on Twitter. Laura Loomer posted, "It gets
What?
White House to get an Epstein binder and spread Pam Bondi's lies. Here's a photo of Jessica allegedly wearing a shirt that says Free Ghislaine that she posted on her Instagram account. Ghislaine Maxwell serving prison time for the sex trafficking. Laura Loomer is a MAGA person. She is a Trumper, as close to Trump at one point. Out this stunt, though, by Donald Trump, by Trump's Attorney General Pam Bondi, for giving these binders to MAGA influencers that were not actually the Epstein files and trying to act like, oh, we're releasing everything, which they did not. Now, we put our team at Midas Touch on it. Midas Touch has been able to independently confirm that the screenshot of Krause circulating on Twitter by Laura Loomer and others showing Krause wearing a Free Ghislaine shirt is indeed authentic. On her Instagram account in August 2024, Krause posted a picture of herself wearing a Free Ghislaine shirt during a trip to cover the DNC. According to an archive of Krause's Instagram stories, she implied her, quote, Free Ghislaine shirt was her favorite controversial t-shirt just before posting a picture of it to her Instagram stories. Hey kids, grow up and work as an independent journalist, and you can lay on the floor and eat fried chicken and watch politics and write whatever you want while wearing your favorite controversial t-shirt. Another picture of Krause wearing the Free Ghislaine shirt appeared on the Reddit channel Our House on Fire. The picture shows Krause wearing the shirt outdoors while with RFK Jr. supporters at the DNC. Some members of the group you can see right there. In June 2022, Ghislaine Maxwell was sentenced to 20 years in prison for conspiring with Epstein to sexually abuse minors. Krause wants Ghislaine set free in exchange for revealing who the Epstein clients were, calling her conviction, quote, absurd when the clients are still free. She writes, my readers are very familiar with my stance on Ghislaine. That one woman was 20. All of the men involved bothered. You have Laura, freedom of an unknown abuser of girls is quite the position to hold, but not one that bars a person from access to the White House, apparently. During her White House visit on Thursday, Krause posted a picture of herself with Trump, J.D. Vance, and RFK